And we are here for the Yellowjackets kickoff. Number 24, Judah Thompson, is going to be kicking off for the Yellowjackets tonight in their matchup against the Valley Vikings. Vikings come in with a 0-5 record. Freeport winning last week, moving to 3-2. And we've got a kickoff that's going to be taken at about the 35-yard line by the Vikings and hit quickly and driven out of bounds by number 14, Camden Schlegel. I've got with me on the call tonight Josh Schreckengoss. Running camera, and I'll be providing some insights as well, Dave Hartman.
Bob, it's a pleasure to finally work with you. You've done a great job on Freeport Sports for us. Did some basketball last year, I believe, and now on the football beat this year, so we appreciate you, man, and I'm looking forward to doing a game with you.
Me as well, and the Vikings flags before their first down play here. The Vikings quarterback, number 9, Mason Simmons, a senior, stands at 6'2", 280 pounds. We've got a lot of height on the Valley Vikings team tonight, Josh. I was a little surprised when I got the rosters before the game. Saw a couple of 6'5" gentlemen on there. One standing at 6'5", 295. Wow. We're going to see certainly some size from the Valley Vikings, and they always give Freeport a good battle. However, Freeport 3-0 in their last 3 games against the Vikings. Simmons in the shotgun with a sidecar running back. Motion across the formation. Simmons drops back. Breaks a couple of tackles and is up over the 30-yard line. Brought down on the play by number 1, Owen Neaston for the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, I remember Simmons. Dave, you probably do too. We'll get you a headset here shortly. You remember Simmons from the Armstrong game against Valley last year. Quite an athlete back there, quarterback.
I think we'll see a lot of read option from the Valley Vikings tonight against the Yellowjackets. They certainly have some good rushing quarterbacks as well as a good tailback in the backfield. Simmons comes out in the shotgun formation, number 22, Nicholas Heekins, the sidecar in the backfield, but flags before the play. What do you see there, Josh? Was that a false start?
I don't know. I think it was actually offsides against Freeport.
Yeah, it looks like it was on the Freeport Yellowjackets. That's going to get the Valley Vikings 5 yards back. Brings up a second down and about 8 yards for the Vikings. Ball spotted just inside the 40-yard line at the Vikings 38. Simmons in the shotgun formation. Heekins in the backfield with him. He drops back to pass and hits number 2 for the Valley Vikings, and he is gone.
Wow.
The slant turned into a long touchdown. Peyton Eason, the senior wide receiver for the Vikings, with the touchdown.
I'll tell you what, boy, he took that to the house quick, split those safeties, and was absolutely gone. Hitting 6th gear there in the sports car.
A quick punch in the mouth to the Yellowjacket defense from the Valley Vikings. We knew this was not an 0-5 team to be taken lightly. A lot of athletes on this Valley Vikings team, a lot of great battles in the history between these two teams, and the Vikings come out and strike first tonight.
Well, that's one thing. I mean, being from around this area and knowing Valley, knowing the schools in this area, I mean, they always have tremendous athletes. Sometimes the discipline gets away from them. You know, they committed a bunch of penalties in the games that Dave and I have done over the past couple of years. But they have guys that can break it, and just saw it right there.
Absolutely. Trent Hickjenbotham, I'm going to butcher his name. So sorry, Trent. But with the successful extra point for the Valley Vikings, that puts them out 7-0 in front here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about having our names butchered, so I always try my best. Dave knows this well about me. I always try my best to get the pronunciations as good as possible, but sometimes it's a losing proposition.
You know, it's a touch of dyslexia. It's a touch of just having the inability to pronounce names correctly the first time. I think maybe I was cursed when I was born a Booterbaugh in that regard. I've been called Butterball my whole life, Josh.
I've heard it on the air here on High Top Sports Network.
He's referring to Judd Stewart and working the booth at that Deer Lakes game. The Jackets take the ball inside the 20-yard line. Valley Vikings quickly covering on that. That was Jackets number 25, Eli Prose with the return, the sophomore wide receiver. And the Jackets are going to start this drive inside their own 20. Ball spotted at the 17-yard line. We're at about 10:40 remaining in the first quarter. And this will be our first chance to take a look at a powerful Jackets offense led by quarterback Drew Ross Jr. 4 touchdowns last week, Josh. 3 rushing on the ground, 1 through the air, and he hands it off to Amos Glenn. One of the players to watch certainly this week. Glenn, with over 80 yards rushing last week, has put brilliant displays on both running the football and returning punts and kicks for the Yellowjackets.
You know, a great bounce-back win last week for the Yellowjackets, coming off that heartbreaking loss to Deer Lakes and bounce back with a big performance against Burrow, as you said, Ross, a huge game. And Amos Glenn has been, you know, I know he's had some injury problems throughout his career, and having him healthy is a big boost for head coach Sean Gaylott and the Yellowjackets down there.
Well, Amos Glenn has moves to spare. We're going to see a show from him tonight, I'm sure, as he is one of the players to watch. Handoff goes to Owen Neaston on the jet motion.
Oh, a little extracurricular.
Run out of bounds. Hit a little bit late there along the sidelines, but picks up about a yard on the play maybe. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Yellowjackets regardless, Josh.
Yeah, you got to watch when you get close to those boundaries over there. I went to Katanning. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Red Olam Field, but the fence was right next to the bench, and guys got plowed into it all the time. So,
absolutely. Very familiar with those that old fence there.
Oh, man, a lot of people are familiar with it. Face first.
Jackets are going to come out in a two-back formation, still in the shotgun for Ross, but there is a whistle. It's going to be, I believe, a timeout taken by the Yellowjackets before the snap. So when we come back from this timeout, we'll see the Yellowjackets in a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, we'll take a quick commercial break. Thanks to all of our awesome sponsors here on High Top Sports Network.
Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at 132 South Grand Street Avenue in downtown Katanning, offers a state-of-the-art training facility and top-tier instruction by experienced coaches to help turn your youngster into the best baseball or softball player they can be. Batting cage and bullpen lane rentals are available for 30 to 60-minute sessions, and you can also sign your baseball or softball player up for private hitting, pitching, fielding, and catching instruction with our knowledgeable staff. Be sure to visit Armstrong Indoor Athletics online at aia.team or call them at 724-599-976.
And the Yellowjackets have Ross in the shotgun formation, but a flag before the play. Looks like the Valley Vikings are going to be offsides, and the Yellowjackets are going to turn this 3rd down and 6 into a 3rd down and short. Penalties plagued, Jacket fans will remember penalties plagued them in the game against Erie, both on offense and defense. Nearly 100 yards in penalties for the Yellowjackets that night. One of 2 tough losses that they've taken on the year. The other one coming in a comeback that just fell short at Deer Lakes. But the Yellowjackets have traded wins and losses for the season and are trying to break that pattern tonight with their first 2 wins in a row.
I don't know if you got it right there, Bob. That was a pretty good play. I think it was Neaston. I'm not sure who ran the ball. I couldn't tell, but good play by Valley to get in the backfield and blow that one up.
Absolutely. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 1. It's a long one, too. I mean, looking at those sticks across the field, Josh, it looks every bit of almost 2 yards. The sticks on either side of that yard marker, but a long one for the Yellowjackets as they elect to punt, bringing out Judah Thompson. Very close to being blocked, but it's going to take a Freeport bounce at the 50-yard line and continue to roll down inside the 35-yard line. The Vikings will take over at the 34-yard line for their second drive of this game. An impressive stop there on third down by the Valley Vikings, as you mentioned, Josh.
Yeah, that was a big play. Good
Getting
punt
good
there, though.
penetration on that inside run. That might have been Neaston that was the ball carrier, as you had mentioned.
I thought it was. I don't know the roster.
As well as, yeah. I've been watching these kids since they were playing B's youth football. So I know a lot. I'll recognize a lot of them, but I had a tough time catching the number of who that ball carrier was.
I think it was Danny King, to tell you the truth. Number 8. I think it was number 8.
It might have been 8, Danny King there. And the Vikings on first down pick up a very short gain. Ball carrier number 22, Nicholas Heekins. Heekins wrapped up quickly by that Jacket defense. I expect to see the linebackers for these Yellowjackets flying around all night. I've mentioned several times Camden Schlegel over the last several games, but on the opposite side, Bryson Pega's been playing tremendously. Younger brother of Brady Pega, two-way player on the Jackets for many years, offensive and defensive lineman. And there goes Camden Schlegel and Brady Pega, almost like they were listening to the broadcast here as the two meet at the quarterback. I think Schlegel might have got a little bit more of him, but the Yellowjackets with a big sack on second down, forcing a third down and long for the Vikings. Josh, the Yellowjackets seem to be following that model that brought so much success to Colton Otterman over the years, breaking the single-season sack record for the Yellowjackets last year. That lighter, faster outside linebacker, both Pega and Schlegel seem to be of that mold, and they're trying to replicate the success that they've had in this defensive system with those smaller, faster outside linebackers.
Well, if you can replicate the mold that Colton Otterman was cast from, my goodness gracious, he is one of the best defensive players I've ever seen. And I've been covering high school football. This is 24 seasons now. But he was, the past 2 years, just absolutely tremendous, crazy instincts. And not just the sacks, blocking punts, knocking down, like I'm getting hands up, deflecting a pass. Like he just knew everything that was going on out there in front of him, and he could react so quickly.
Running the football as well, but a terrorizer on that defensive side of the football for
Unbelievable.
Sure. Just making plays all over the field, and that's what the Yellowjackets, if they want to see success in a deep run into the playoffs this year, they're going to want to see some of that from Pega and Schlegel. Simmons back. Deep pass intercepted by number 8, Danny King. King takes it inside the 25, ridden out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. That Simmons pass floated up in the air there, and Danny King read it perfectly, high-pointed the football, and then brings it back for a nice return.
Well, that's what you want out of your players. King got stopped on 4th and 1. He could have been sulking out there on the field. No way. Engaged in the game, read that floater perfectly, picked it off, took it back. Freeport in business.
And Ross will still take over first down and 10 deep inside Viking territory with a sidecar in Amos Glenn, number 28, but he keeps it himself. He had success running the football last week and gets up close to the first down marker again. For those of you watching at home, Amos Glenn is wearing number 26 tonight. In the blue jerseys, we know and have seen Amos in his, I almost said iconic there, Josh, number 33, but he's a young guy. But saw him in that number 33 so often. In this particular jersey, he is wearing number 26 tonight, and we find him in a sidecar again, this time to the right of quarterback Drew Rosh, who motions Neaston across the formation, but hands off to Glenn. Glenn cuts up the middle and takes it in for a Jacket touchdown.
Well, good response there by the Jackets. Valley hitting that big play, taking the slant to the house. Jackets respond, force a turnover, get points off the turnover, and an extra point times it.
Arm tackles will not bring down Amos Glenn, for sure. Absolutely beautiful run there. finding the crease and moving quickly into the end zone are the Jackets after the turnover. Judah Thompson on for the extra point, and that one is good as the Jackets tie the game here. 6:49 remaining in the first quarter. We've got a tie score between the Yellowjackets and Vikings.
And we'll be right back. Quick commercial message.
Steffi's Country Catering prepares home-style made-from-scratch dishes that will have you convinced Mom made it. Whatever the occasion, Steffi's Country Catering will have you coming back for every event year-round. Find us on Facebook to place an order or to see our Sunday specials, or call 724-54-85047.
What a beautiful drive following the turnover by the Yellowjackets to tie this game up. Judah Thompson on to kick it deep. Back deep for the Vikings. Looking through that window pane with the water drops. I think that's number 4 taking it for the Valley Vikings. Chased on the play by Dawson Gaylott, but he has some running room and takes it up over the 45. Ball's going to be spotted about the 48-yard line. Big return by Zayon Farron, the senior, for the Valley Vikings. Beautiful return. Took it deep from the near side, took it all the way across the field, probably ran significantly more than the yardage he picked up on the stat sheet, but a beautiful run regardless by Zayon Farron. The Valley Vikings are going to come out in a shotgun formation. Heekins in the sidecar left to Simmons. Simmons drops back, hits that quick slant, and that's going to be intercepted by number 23, Dawson Gaylott. The linebacker drops into that zone, read the quarterback who, quite frankly, stared down that receiver a little too long, Josh, and Dawson Gaylott able to step in front, read that quarterback's eyes, and come up with another big turnover by this Jacket defense.
Well, Freeport did what they needed to do the first time they forced a turnover. They got points off of it. See if they can make it 2 straight.
Starting this drive not so deep into Viking territory. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line, just over the midway point. We'll find Drew Ross back in the shotgun formation. Neeson with a motion across the formation, and we got a deep pass intended for Wisniewski, but he played defensive back just as much as wide receiver on that play. Tight coverage by the Vikings. Derek Hassim, senior. I sometimes feel like I should invert and say senior before their name. That way it doesn't sound like I'm saying Derek Hassim is a senior. But the upperclassman with a good defensive play to break up that deep shot taken to Wisniewski. We see a motion from Glenn out to a 3-wide receiver set on our right. It's going to be a bubble screen out to Wisniewski, and Wisniewski has that ball bounce off the shoulder pad. Jackets are going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 following the incompletion. We've got a 3rd down and 10. Drew Ross in that shotgun formation with a sidecar and Glenn to his left. But we've got a fumbled snap. And the Valley Vikings, a swarm of Viking defenders, taking down Ross deep in the backfield. It's going to bring up a 4th down and the punting unit to come on the field. Too many Vikings to even call the specific guys there. The entire defensive line ended up on Ross after the fumbled snap in the shotgun. Judah Thompson's going to come on to punt, and we've got Zayon Farron back deep again. Heels right around the 15-yard line for Farron. Farron gets a running start on the punt return, and another good return by Zayon Farron. Up over the 40-yard line and setting up good field position here in a tie game, first quarter, 5:30 to play. Yard line, just over the midway point. Both teams with some mistakes here early in the first quarter, giving opportunities for extra possessions to each team on offense, but the mistakes have really been the issue. Aside from a couple of nice drives, one great pass here from Valley and a nice couple of shots by the Yellowjackets, but it's been mistakes that have cost these last few drives to go back and forth. Simmons in the shotgun formation. He's got a 3 wide receiver set to his left. It's a bubble screen out to number 1. Corey Pitts for the Vikings, and Pitts is going to pick up about 6 yards on that play. 2nd down and 4. Ball spotted at the 50-yard line. The Vikings copying what the Yellowjackets did on that previous drive, but a successful bubble screen picks up 6 yards for them. Handoff goes to Heekins. And the pile keeps pushing to first down yardage. Heekins does not go down. Wade Patoshnak driving him all around the field, but that offensive line for the Vikings able to push Heekins past the first down marker, picking up positive yardage and putting them into Jackets territory. We see a motion from Glenn out to a 3 wide receiver set on our right. It's going to be a bubble screen out to Wisniewski. Simmons in the shotgun formation. He's got a sidecar in the running back, Heekins. It's going to be a quick pass out to Farron, number 4 for the Valley Vikings, who I do believe is going to pick up first down yardage again, a gain of about 10 yards on the play, and that's going to move the sticks. This Vikings offense definitely has the athleticism and speed that we thought they might be displaying tonight, especially with Farron. A couple of nice returns and a few already first downs by the Vikings senior wide receiver. In that shotgun formation with a sidecar and Glenn to his left. But we've got a fumbled snap. And the Valley after the first down, it looks like we've got a bit of a delay, maybe a ball situation. Officials talking a little bit. We're getting the ball dried off. Raindrops falling here at Freeport Athletic Stadium on a humid Friday night.
Sticky indeed, folks. We're aware that the video is frozen. Appreciate everyone letting us know. Working on getting it back up here. We had some rain come in and get on our equipment, so I don't know if that was it or what, but we're working on getting it fixed. And Bob will continue to call the action while I work on this technical thing.
Till then, it's just like you're tuning in on the radio. Yeah. We've got the Bill Hillgrove Steelers call. I'm not comparing myself in any shape or format, but I've listened to plenty of Bill Hillgrove calls, both Pitt Panthers and Pittsburgh Steelers over the airwaves. So hopefully we'll get that video back up for you guys shortly, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about here. But for now, we've got Simmons, the quarterback for the Vikings, in a shotgun formation. He motions wide receiver across the formation to a 3 wide receiver set up to his left. He goes back right, though, to the single side and intended for Corey Pitts, but the ball falls incomplete. The Vikings not afraid to challenge this Jacket defense through the air, despite a couple of early interceptions in the game. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 9 for the Valley Vikings. Both teams. Simmons comes out in a 4 wide receiver set in the shotgun with a running back to his left. Little bit of a jailbreak there as it's a screen play, but the pass intended for the running back Heekins falls incomplete, and that's going to be a 4th down and 9. But it is decision time, or at least the decision area of the field, Josh, for the Valley Vikings. Looks like Wisniewski may have put the ball on the carpet there. I see this. The officials have definitely signaled that it is Viking football. The Yellowjackets certainly arguing that and begrudgingly coming off the field as the offense for the Yellowjackets. Vikings break the huddle. Jackets still getting onto the field here. We've got an official standing over the ball, so no danger of a snap, but certainly the Jackets unhappy with the call on the fumble there. And we've got a flag against the Jackets sideline. We're going to get a sideline warning, I think, coming up against the Jackets. Coaching staff definitely unhappy with the fumble call. They still want to talk about this a little bit, but I think at this point we really just need to get on defense and play some defense there. Still having some conversations with the Jacket sideline are the officiating crew. Ball, we're going to get a wind of the clock here in just a moment, and the Vikings are ready to start this drive. 1st down and 10, ball spotted at the 47-yard line of the Vikings. Shotgun formation for the quarterback, Simmons, who hands off to Heekins. Gain's going to be of about 4 to 5 yards. As he's run out of bounds here, clock will continue to run. We're under 4.5 minutes to play in this first half. It'll be a 3rd down and 3 following the Neaston end around or jet sweep. Well, we might have video back. I've got a double thumbs up coming from Josh. So.
I think it's good. Keep your fingers crossed, maybe your toes as well. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be changed around. That's why you bring backups of everything, kids. You know.
Well, I'll cross my heart that I'll be very excited. I'll cross that as well. And we've got a 1st down run by the Yellowjackets. And we're back into the Steffi's Country Kitchen red zone. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Jackets looking to extend this lead as we go into halftime. Clock continues to wind. Yellowjackets taking their time trying to milk this drive. As I said, it would be a bit of a backbreaker to put together a long drive from deep in their own end, and that's exactly what the Yellowjackets are doing as they motion Owen Neaston across the formation. He's going to provide a good lead block for Amos Glenn. Glenn's going to pick up a couple of yards on the on the off-tackle run. It'll be a 3-yard pickup for Glenn, bringing up a 2nd down and 7. Boy, that slot wide receiver, Owen Neaston, certainly gets a workout. They motion him across the formation about every single play. He is out there getting a running start, either lead blocking for Amos Glenn after the jet motion, and they cross him across the formation again. Ball doesn't get handed off. Instead, Drew Ross keeps, and he goes off to the right, off tackle to the right on his own on the designed quarterback run. That pickup's going to take the Jackets inside the 15-yard line, but bring up another 3rd down on this drive. 3rd down and 4 for the Yellowjackets. Ball is spotted at the... And folks, we might be back. I mean,
they can hear us now. We determined that our internet was running off a switch. Therefore, I know all the people out there are like, great technical talk, but yeah, we weren't getting fast enough speeds to be able to run the stream at high definition. So I had to do some pulling of wires, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to hope and pray that...
Well, hopefully the handiwork is all for worth it here. And we've got an excellent game here between the Yellowjackets and the Vikings as Simmons, the quarterback, keeps and heads near the 20-yard line, picks up some of that yardage as they began this drive or this play at second down and long. Only 7 seconds to go here in the first half. We've got the score 20-7, Jackets out in front. 7 seconds to go on this second down and 15 for the Vikings. There is a discussion at midfield by the officials, so we might be looking at some. It was a false start prior to the play, maybe an illegal formation rather, but a pre-snap penalty for the Vikings regardless. It's going to bring up a second down and long here for the Vikings. I've been impressed by this Yellow Jacket defense because, you know, if we just pull that one long pass out that really set the Vikings up on that first touchdown, had an excellent defensive performance by the Yellow Jackets, a couple of turnovers, limiting both the Vikings in the passing game and the running game tonight. Always got to give big props to those guys up front. Cole Troutman, Wade Patoshnak. Handoff goes to Heekin. Heekins takes the ball up over the 25-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards on the play. But that's going to be the final play of the first half here as the Yellow Jackets lead 20-7 as we head to the locker room. We'll get a couple of commercial breaks in here for you folks at some point, I'm sure. But for now, I want to thank everyone for sticking with us. We're going to have a performance here by the Yellow Jacket and Viking bands here at halftime. Hopefully those raindrops continue to stay away as well. But all the umbrellas seem to be put away, and we've got some nice, hot, sticky weather for the not sure if the listening audience, if I'm live or not. If you were here for halftime, you saw the Valley Vikings marching band. Wonderful performance by them. And then the Freeport Yellowjackets marching band. We put the microphones outside the windows there to give you a little bit of a taste of the band action that was out there. Or maybe you just heard our conversation up here in the booth and we weren't aware. We think we are past most of the technical difficulties for the evening, and hopefully the stream is running for everyone. If you're in the chat now, feel free to let me know if you can hear us, if you're seeing the video. Right now, the Freeport Yellowjackets are coming out for a bit of a warm-up. We've got a few minutes before action begins, but the Yellowjackets are out in front 20-7 off the back of a three-touchdown performance in the first half by Amos Glenn. Rushing the ball very well, following just a great performance by his offensive line out there this evening. I joked early in the first half that Amos Glenn's jersey seemed to be too clean. He really hasn't been brought down very quickly on many of these plays. We're getting a lot of good runs from him, but his usage in a game that started off a little bit rainy this evening, his usage would have 20 years ago had his jersey just all dirty on a wet night like tonight, but still clean out there for the Yellowjackets. We see the Valley Vikings taking the field again here as they enter your camera view. Jogging on in the background as the Jackets are warming up. Stayed with us through some of those difficulties in the first half, you're in for a real treat here because the raindrops have stopped. It's a beautiful, cool evening here at Freeport Athletic Stadium. Wind is moving across the field in our faces. But we'll have a kickoff here for you in just a couple of minutes. those of you excited about that first half with the Yellowjackets out in front 20-7. You're going to get to see more Jacket offense as they're going to receive the kickoff here in the second half. Dave, do you know if we're going out there to the ethos? Is the world hearing what we have not got a single thumbs down on this broadcast all evening, so that's a good thing, right? 3 thumbs up, no thumbs down, even though we haven't had picture most of the evening. Let's take a look here and see if we. And the second half kickoff is going to be taken by Amos Glenn at about the 8-yard line. Amos is going to get the ball up over the 20, but the ball's on the ground. It looked like it squirted out after he was already down, but the officials disagree with that call, and that's going to send the Jacket defense out on the field here in the second half, deep in their own territory, having to defend to start this second half. Backs up against the wall a bit here for the Jackets with an opportunity for the Valley Vikings to narrow that margin. It stands at 20-7 currently. And the Valley Vikings are going to take over here at the 20-yard line. We're back into the Steffi's Country Kitchen red zone. This time the Valley Vikings, the ones threatening to score out of a 4-wide receiver set. Simmons with a pass. Falls incomplete, intended for number 8, Derek Hassim. Hassim is a senior wide receiver for the Vikings. Breaking towards the near sideline on that route. About a 10-yard pickup if he makes the catch. Instead, it's going to bring up a second down and 10 here for the Valley Vikings. Simmons in the shotgun formation, running back to his left, 3 wide receivers to that side of the field as well. Simmons is going to give a quick pass out, intended for Zayn Farron, but it falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Valley Vikings. Not hearing myself as much as I did in the first half in the headset there, Josh. I'm wondering if maybe I plugged into the wrong side here in the back. Do you know if I'm right here, or are you guys hearing me okay?
I hear you fine.
Oh, wonderful. I'm not hearing anybody else in the headset, but if you folks at home are hearing me, that's all that we really care about.
Yeah, they're hearing you.
The call. Simmons in the shotgun formation. He's going to keep it on the quarterback draw. Comes towards the near sideline, tackled on the play by number 11 quarterback Drew Ross, coming up from his safety position for the Yellowjackets to make the tackle. That's going to bring up a 4th down and about 2, but the Vikings are not going to send out that punting unit. Not this deep inside Jacket territory, with the ball spotted at the 12-yard line and only 2 yards needed for the first down. I'd expect we get a dose of running back Nicholas Heekins on this play. Maybe a quarterback keeper by Simmons. Simmons with a flag coming out before the snap. That's going to be a false start on the Vikings, and that's going to make this 4th down and 2 a 4th down and 7. Not what the Vikings coaching staff or sideline was hoping for. Certainly not wanting to back themselves up or make this 4th down play any tougher on them, especially against this stingy Jacket defense tonight. This 4th down and medium situation, those outside linebackers can't quite pin their ears back the way they did on some of those 4th down and long. Got to stay home and can't just rush the quarterback, but let's see what happens here. Quick pass out to Zayn Farron. He does make the catch, but it looks like he is just shy of the sticks. He does not get to the 10-yard line. That's going to be a turnover on downs, Jacket football. Certainly a tremendous effort by Zayn Farron on a contested catch there in traffic, but comes up just short of first down yardage for the Vikings. Yellowjackets are going to start off first down and 10 with a bunch formation to the quarterback's left. Shotgun for Drew Ross, and he hands off to Amos Glenn. Glenn takes it off tackle, and he is gone. Nobody's going to catch him. Amos Glenn is going to take that ball nearly 90 yards for a Jacket touchdown.
Hey, I give a lot of credit to Valley's number, I can't see it. I think it's a 4. It's a Valley number 4.
That's Zayn Farron.
Zayn Farron, he booked it. He did his absolute best, never quit on the play. But Amos Glenn, holy man, I thought he might have an angle on him right around the 50-yard line. I thought Farron might be able to get to him, but Glenn just too fast down the sideline. That's a touchdown.
I certainly tried to make an early call on that. It didn't look like anybody was going to catch him, and Zayn Farron almost made a liar out of me. It certainly gave tremendous effort. We've got Judah Thompson on here for the extra point and trying to give the Jackets a 27-7 lead. That extra point by Thompson is up and good, and that puts the Jackets out by 20 points here early in the third quarter. Let's get that touchdown on the board for the Jackets. Judah Thompson's extra point makes it 27-7 Yellowjackets.
Sorry, Dave. I keep reaching over you, and I'm just trying to get the right angle here on the camera.
Yellowjackets are going to be kicking off here. Back deep for the Valley Vikings are going to be the running back, Nicholas Heaskins, along with Zayn.
How's that, Dave?
Farron, number 4 and number 22, respectively. Judah Thompson getting set to kick off here for the Yellowjackets.
Well, Dave, now that I'm not running around like a crazy person, we'll try and get Dave on the air here a little bit.
There we go. Let's try. We'll get Dave in the broadcast here as well. We've got a big second half of football here for us as we've got a tackle being made by the Yellowjackets. Number 52, Cameron Mankey, leveled the ball carrier on the play, and that's going to put the Valley Vikings starting with at about, I believe, the 34-yard line, where they're going to take over here in the third quarter. 9:49 on the clock. It's been mostly Jackets here in the second half, courtesy of a 90-yard touchdown run by Amos Glenn.
Well, they dodged a bullet. You know, Glenn fumbled the opening kickoff there the second half and got his redemption on that long touchdown run.
That is for certain. And we see big Wade Patoshnak driving the running back. Quarterback kept it, and it turns into a sack for number 2, Bryson Pega.
Dave, why don't you say a little something?
Hey, I'm back on the air.
Yeah, he is. He's back.
All right.
All right, Dave, sorry about the first half. I apologize to everybody out there. Apologize to you, too.
Hey, not a problem.
But luckily, I'm a troubleshooter.
Right?
Bob, what do you think? I'm throwing cables around and screaming and under my breath. But you know what? We got her fixed. Second half looks good, and hopefully everybody at home can enjoy.
And Simmons takes this snap out of the shotgun formation, but he keeps up the middle. We get a quick pitch back, and
yikes. That was a dangerous play.
A little bit of that. Yeah, very dangerous play by the quarterback Simmons there. I don't know if it was designed that way. I'm gonna doubt it. I think that was a little bit of a backyard football move there by Simmons on the play.
Sometimes it works in the backyard, you know?
Right?
Yeah, the coaches tend to not like that, though.
No, they do not.
Yeah, the coaches are not gonna love it if that's not a called quarterback pitch there, but
I'm pretty sure no play in football has the quarterback running up to the line of scrimmage and just wildly throwing backwards.
I certainly don't think so. 3rd down and 13 for Simmons. As he's looking deep, he decides to keep, and he's going to run out of bounds. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 14 for the Vikings.
Wait, I'll tell you what. Peyton Easton was behind the Freeport coverage right there, and I think that's who Simmons was looking for. He just didn't cut it loose. I don't know, maybe he didn't feel like he could get it there. I'm not sure. You know, down 20 points, you don't want to make a mistake and turn the ball over again, but I thought Easton might have had a step.
Certainly a step by the wide receiver here behind that Jacket defense. Simmons maybe being a little gun shy from a couple of first half interceptions.
He's played well since, though, I thought.
He absolutely has played well. Those came early in the first quarter, and we've got a punt maybe partially blocked here. Goes out of bounds inside Viking territory. Not a great punt there by Heaskins. One he would certainly want back, as we see the official still walking up to mark that, and that's going to be at the 45-yard line of the Vikings, where the Jackets offense will take over, looking to extend the lead here.
You know what? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step on you right there. That formation was interesting. The punter was very close, closer than what you would normally get for a punt formation, and that allowed Freeport's D to get in there quickly and nearly block that and force a quick punt, which ended up being pretty short. So I don't know if maybe it's they don't think the snapper can get it there or what, but he seemed a lot closer than normal.
A couple of close calls in the punting game for the Vikings tonight, as Drew Ross drops back and hits Salinger over the middle. That tight end seam that has worked so many times for the Jackets this season. Salinger with a big catch, and he signals for the first down. Ball spotted down inside at the 20-yard line. That puts us inside the Steffi's Country Kitchen red zone.
You know, my first time seeing Drew Ross live this year. I saw him a couple times last year. Big jump between the sophomore and junior year. That's generally the case with athletes in high school. You take that big jump. Boy, did he look like a quarterback right there. Hit his back foot, let that go over the top to Selinger, and big completion.
He's been quite the field general this season for the Yellowjackets as he takes the shotgun snap, goes back to the single wide receiver side, and we've got a quick gain by Danny King on the play. It's going to be about a 5-yard pickup, 2nd down and 5. Let's call that actually 2nd down and 4 with a 6-yard pickup by King on the play. Inside the 15-yard line, ball spotted at the 14-yard line is where the Jackets will continue this drive inside the Steffi Country Kitchen red zone. Ross out there making the calls, getting everybody lined up and set. He's got a running back to his right in the shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers across the formation. Handoff inside to Glenn, and there's going to be not much running room for Glenn on the play.
You know, didn't Colton Otterman wear 26? I believe he wore number 26, and that run right there by Glenn inside the tackles looked a little bit like Otterman, man, keeping those legs churning and going forward for positive yardage.
Absolutely strong run by Glenn on that play. He's got moves for all situations. He takes the ball off tackle well. He returns punts and kicks well. He can get up inside the formation there and get the tough yardage as well, as you saw on that play. Ross with a handoff to Glenn. Glenn runs into his own offensive lineman, but still picks up a couple of yards on the play.
Well, Hunter Lang did his best right there. He kind of got crossed up by Glenn. Glenn ran right into his chest, and give the big man credit. He kind of did the old WWF Irish whip, trying to push him forward, and got him a yard or two.
It's tough when the fast kid runs into the big guy that's supposed to be blocking for him. It became a little bit of an extra obstacle, but Hunter Lang certainly did all he could to try and help get Glenn into the right direction on that play. We've got Ross in the shotgun formation again, 3 wide receivers set with the slot back of Salinger. Hands off to the tailback, Mickey Glenn, or Amos Glenn, rather. Sorry.
No, that's his nickname. I think it was. I think it was actually.
I know that he doesn't like it as much or doesn't go by it now. You know, he's in high school. He's, one of the Valley's best running backs. He wants to be called Amos Glenn, but I still see that kid that was out there running 90-yard touchdowns for the Bees.
I think there was a Trib article that called him Mickey Glenn. So I always, when a kid has a nickname coming up through high school, I always ask him, can I refer to you as that nickname? And if they say no, I won't do it because, like you said, he's in high school now. He wants to be called by his first name. I get it.
So the handoff is again to Amos Glenn, and
walk
he is going to get his 4th rushing touchdown on the night.
Well, he made himself so small between those blocks, but it never stopped moving forward. The speed and the ability to kind of make himself small between his blockers. Nobody even touched him for the Vikings defense right there. Glenn
hits the second level so quickly. His
Yeah.
acceleration, the speed, there's not enough superlatives in the book there to describe the rushing performance tonight. 4 touchdowns on the night, well over 100 yards rushing, probably in the 150-yard range right now. Judah Thompson on for the extra point, which is good. That's going to put the Yellowjackets out in front 34-7 here in the third quarter.
Well, we are going to take a quick commercial break here on High Top Sports Network. Thank one of our awesome sponsors, Armstrong Indoor Athletics. For Bob Booterbaugh, Dave Hartman, my name is Josh Reckengoss. We'll be right back.
Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at 132 South Grand Street Avenue in downtown Katanning, offers a state-of-the-art training facility and top-tier instruction by experienced coaches to help turn your youngster into the best baseball or softball player they can be. Batting cage and bullpen lane rentals are available for 30 to 60-minute sessions, and you can also sign your baseball or softball player up for private hitting, pitching, fielding, and catching instruction with our knowledgeable staff. Be sure to visit Armstrong Indoor Athletics online at aia.team or call them at 724-599-9761 for more information today. Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at 132.
So, Josh, we've got the folks at home having to deal with some technical difficulties, some mispronunciations of names, and now I've got a play-by-play guy who cannot count. Amos Glenn with his 5th rushing touchdown.
Oh,
tonight,
man.
Not his 4th. He had 3 in the first half.
Was
Took a
Big E giving you the
90-yard one back
5?
for his 4th in the to start the second half here. Now, Amos Glenn with 5 rushing. That's the Al Bundy. That's the Al Bundy right
Yep.
there. He could talk about that for the rest of his life.
Polk High, number 33.
That's exactly right.
Second
It
time
would
I'm
have
talking
been
about.
Freeport High number 33 if they weren't in the blue jerseys tonight.
That's
He's wearing
true.
number 26, as those of you at home know. Judah Thompson with the kickoff. Ball taken by Zayn Farron at the 5-yard line, and he's got a crease.
Oh, man.
Gets up over the 30-yard line, about a 27, maybe 28-yard return for Zayn Farron. Farron, a tremendous athlete. Somebody you would want to try and get the ball into his hands as often as possible, I would think. Just a really good athlete. Moves well with the ball in his hands. He may be slight in stature a bit, but certainly has break tackle toughness and aggression out there as a runner.
Well, they have him listed at 5'6", 155, and that's just about the right size to blow by guys, make them miss, have them whiffing at air.
Well, he certainly did that, bringing the ball up from the 5-yard line, crossed the 30, ball spotted here at the 33-yard line where the Vikings take over first down and 10. Simmons in the shotgun formation with a quick
that's a
pass
fumble.
and fumble.
That's got to be. He took 3 steps at least.
That was Derek Hassim with the catch and run and fumble, recovered on the play by number 23, Dawson Gaylott, the linebacker and son of head coach John Gaylott.
Mental mistake there by Derek Hassim. I don't know if he thought he was behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, he caught the ball and took 3, almost 4 steps before he lost it and then never went back for it.
You know, sometimes you feel for the wide receiver who may be feeling that he's juggling the ball, but to everyone else, it looks like he had a good handle on it. Maybe, I mean, it's the only reason I can think is that he never felt like he had full control of that football. The officials disagree, and so did the Freeport faithful here in the stands as the Jackets take over with a 3 wide receivers set to the right. Ross drops back and fires down the middle. It's going to be a little bit long, intended for Owen Neaston.
Had him. He had 2 steps on the defender.
Neaston certainly did have a step on the defender on the play. Ross with just a bit of an overthrow, got maybe a bit anxious as he saw the wide receiver come breaking over the middle on that post. Dawson Gaylott, the running back, will bring the play in. As we go into a two running back look for the Yellowjackets in the shotgun formation, they've got the halfback in Salinger off to the right. You've got Gaylott and Glenn in the backfield, shotgun with Ross, two wide receivers. Ross is going to go ahead and keep. It looks like a little bit of a busted play, and he's brought down quickly on the play by number 59 of the Vikings, Roman King. Yellowjackets have a 3rd down and 9 here after what appeared to be a bit of a busted play. Quarterback Ross kept it.
He looked to be handing that one off, and there was nobody there to take it.
Nobody. Two running backs on either side of him, and both of them went to block. Ross, surprised by it a bit, moves around in the pocket here, waving his wide receiver downfield.
Oh, boy. That was
Looking for
close.
Salinger in the front corner of the end zone, but the ball falls incomplete, and that's going to be a 4th down and 9 for the Jackets in that territory, and it's decision time for head coach John Gaylott.
Well, if you still had Isaac Wetzel, it wouldn't be a decision.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that kid had a boot.
Isaac Wetzel graduated with my son. Wonderful kicker for the Yellowjackets.
Oh, man, big leg. And I used to love watching him kick extra points down here and then go all the way over the screen and across the road. I believe he's playing college soccer somewhere,
Playing
right?
college soccer, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the offense is going to stay on the field for this 4th down and 9, and we've got some timeout and time to think about it for the Yellowjackets. Maybe they wanted to come out and see what the defensive formation or how those Vikings were going to react to the Jackets formation as they called a timeout here.
I'm going to take a quick commercial break while we have a timeout on the field. Let's take one. Thanks to Steffi's Country Catering, our Red Zone sponsor, and I believe our Player of the Game sponsor today. So thanks to Terry. Check out the commercial.
Steffi's Country Catering prepares home-style made-from-scratch dishes that will have you convinced Mom made it. Whatever the occasion, Steffi's Country Catering will have you coming back for every event year-round. Find us on Facebook to place an order or to see our Sunday specials, or call 724-54-85047.
And for this 4th down and 9, the Jackets come out in a 4 wide receiver set. They motion Neaston to the backfield. Looks like an option, and they're going to throw back to Amos Glenn. Glenn's got some wide open space, and that's what you do to get your playmakers open.
Nice play call.
Got a 20-yard gain there, Josh.
Yeah, I don't know who who Coach Gaylott's offensive coordinator is. I don't think it's listed on the roster, but that was a inventive play call right there, and it kind of reminded me of the play call the Steelers ran against the Falcons right before the end of the first half, where everybody rolled to the left, and it allowed George Pickens to get single coverage down the field. Everybody rolled here to the left, and it allowed Amos Glenn to be by himself when he caught that little screen pass with 2 big blockers out in front of him. Great play call.
Very good play call. Good play design, and the Jackets had excellent execution to bring up a 1st down and 10. Ball at the 11-yard line. Glenn with a carry-off tackle. Tackled pretty quickly there on the play by Corey Pitts of the Vikings. 3-yard gain for Glenn on the play. Clock continues to wind. We're under 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter here.
Yeah, one more score, and it becomes a continuous running clock. But, Bob, you said you like to talk football. I like to watch football. I watch a lot of football.
I catch as much as I possibly can. I haven't seen as much college game this year. My daughter's boyfriend played 6 years defensive line at Pitt.
Wow.
Tyler Bentley,
Oh, yeah, I know that name.
fantastic defensive tackle for the Panthers. And, with him not playing this year and this being his first year watching college football, I probably have watched way less than I have.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I caught every Pitt game,
How
every
bad?
Penn State game. I was a Penn State fan myself. But got a good shot of having good seasons already, both for the Panthers and the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, not a loss among them.
And the Steelers as well.
Oh, I love it.
Off to a 3-0 start.
You know, I got to give my son Aiden some credit. He was calling for Justin Fields off the rip. And I said, buddy, I don't know about Justin Fields. I said, if we can get Russell Wilson for a song, we got to take him. Well, I got to give him credit. He was right.
Are we going to get 6 touchdowns?
Yep.
We're going to see the number
There it is.
6. 6 rushing touchdowns on the night for Amos Glenn.
That's a heck of a night. That's
Yeah.
some guys' seasons in one night.
That is, I played many years of football myself, Josh. I never, ever got into the end zone in a game. I was a guy that played mostly defense. I love to play linebacker. I love to hit people. I can only imagine what he is feeling tonight. He's feeling it, is what you might say. He has absolutely been on fire all evening. 6 rushing touchdowns.
And that one right there was not elusiveness or really overwhelming speed. That was just pure power. He took on 2 Valley tacklers right at the goal line and plowed forward. So that's going to put them up, what? Oh, no, that's only 34 points.
Yeah. You got
That
another
missed
score.
extra point, man.
Yeah, that missed
That
one.
missed extra points keeps us from the running clock and gives you an
man.
opportunity to hear a little bit more of this wonderful broadcast this evening. Judah Thompson is successful on that extra point, but the miss earlier in the game gives the Jackets a 34-point lead, 41-7 currently, as we wind down into the final minutes of the third quarter. Let's go ahead as they line up for that kickoff. Let's get those points on the board.
Yeah, I said next touchdown is going to get us that running clock. No, incorrect, sir. Coach Gaylord did not go for 2. So we still have normal stoppages.
Yep, still regular clock stoppages here, at least for the time being, as the Valley Vikings look to get back into this game. Jackets leading 41-7 at this stage. Judah Thompson with the kickoff. Ball sails deep, taken at the 10-yard line by Farron.
Oh, man,
Zion
he's got a
Farron
crack.
got a lane, and he is up over the 50-yard line, tackled hard on the play over on the far side of the field.
Boy, when you can move when you can be completely sideways and still going forward as fast as he is, that's pretty incredible. Body control and the just the overwhelming speed right there by Farron. And he doesn't hesitate. He sees a crack and he goes for it.
Absolutely. I think the tackle was made there by younger brother of Jackets tight end Sean Salinger, Luke Salinger, over on the far sideline. I think he was the final hit there about the 50-yard line on that play. Actually, ball's going to be spotted at the 47-yard line of the Jackets after the Farron return. Heekins with the carry. Short gain on the play of about 1. Brings up a 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings inside of Yellow Jacket territory. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line. I think as we wind down towards the fourth quarter, I don't know that we need much more football to name players of the game, Josh.
I'm pretty sure we got that one figured out.
Yeah, that's pretty much a no-brainer.
Those 3 touchdowns Amos Glenn had in the first half were equaled by 3 more in the second half, 6 on the night so far. Zion Farron with the end around for the Vikings. Getting the ball into his hands in space is a good strategy for the Vikings. I would continue to lean on that as he picks up a nice gain and brings up a 3rd down and short situation. That'll be a 3rd down and 2, I believe, for the Vikings. Maybe a long 2, but still a 3rd down and 2 at that. Giving a shout quickly to the Jacket defensive line of Wade Patoshnak, Cole Troutman, and I believe we've got Salvatore Coppola out there as well playing nose tackle right now. Tremendous game by these gentlemen so far this evening. After that first touchdown by the Valley Vikings early in the game, that was it's just been all Yellow Jackets ever since. That's going to be a 4th down and 2, so a redo for the Vikings of the 2-yard, needing the 2 yards to pick up the 1st down as that 3rd down play falls incomplete. No punting unit out on the field for the Vikings inside Jacket territory. Simmons in the shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers to his right. Motions Farron across the formation. And he throws that way to Farron. Farron looks like he has enough to pick up the first down.
Well, he's certainly a lot stronger than his listed height and weight. Nobody was taking him down right there.
No, absolutely not. I think, if you're looking for that bright spot this evening on that Valley Vikings sideline, the performance of Zayn Farron, I'm very impressed with both his returns as well as him as a wide receiver. Like I said, I would do as much as you can to get the ball into his hands, especially in space. As the senior has certainly been solid for the Jackets so far. But we've got an interception by number 5, Sean Salinger.
Oh, man, good move.
Salinger is not getting brought down, and he's going to take that all the way to the end zone for the Yellowjackets. I don't see any flags on the field.
No, sir.
And we've got the Jackets celebrating a touchdown by number 5 linebacker Sean Salinger.
Well, that'll get the clock running. What a play right there. Read it perfectly. Another interception forced by this Freeport defense. And Salinger put a move on Farron, I think it was, trying to get back to stop that play. And not too shabby there. Defense playing great. Offense, obviously, on the strength of Glenn's 6 touchdown performance, having a wonderful evening as well. And that'll put him up 41 if this extra point goes through.
Absolutely, and Judah Thompson on for that extra point. I will say, Salinger, from that halfback tight end position, he can run with the football in his hands. And, when he took that interception, had a few blockers out with him. There was little doubt that he was hunting for the end zone, and Salinger able to put the Jackets out way in front. Judah Thompson adds the extra point for a 41-point lead here for the Jackets.
Wow.
As they go up 48-7 with 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Well, that'll give us time to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at 132 South Grand Street Avenue in downtown Katanning, offers a state-of-the-art training facility and top-tier instruction by experienced coaches to help turn your youngster into the best baseball or softball player they can be. Batting cage and bullpen lane rentals are available for 30 to 60-minute sessions, and you can also sign your baseball or softball player up for private hitting, pitching, fielding, and catching instruction with our knowledgeable staff. Be sure to visit Armstrong Indoor Athletics online at aia.team or call them at 724-599-9761 for more information today. Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at
Judah Thompson here to take the kickoff for the Yellowjackets. Back deep for the Valley Vikings are Heekins and Farron. Ball goes to the running back, Heekins. Heekins takes it up over the 30-yard line. He's got a convoy of blockers out in front, only 2 Yellowjackets to beat, and this could be...
Oh, man. What a return right there. And the wall of blocking set up by the Vikings. Just picture perfect. That's how you draw it up on the whiteboard. And the Vikings executed... Is there a flag down there?
Yeah, there does seem to be a laundry right around the 42-yard line on the far side hash mark.
I thought I saw a flag fly out of the corner of my eye.
We might see this touchdown by the Vikings coming back.
What a bummer for the Vikings right there, because that return, I mean, I didn't see anything egregious. Nothing jumped out at me watching the play.
No, I mean, when he got to that sideline, almost every blocker wasn't touching anybody yet. He had 4 or 5 guys ready to headhunt for him to find the end zone, and it'd be...
Yeah, and usually when you get a block in the back, well, it might have been a hold. Let's see if it's a hold.
Yeah, it only takes 2 to tango when it comes to penalties on kickoffs. That hold could have came from anywhere on the field. It's always difficult, though, when you don't feel like you saw something that affected the play. And
well, I think that actually might be against Freeport. I don't know. They looked like he said the touchdown was good. I was watching the official right there.
Well, it is not yet on the board. here in the stadium.
They're setting up for the extra
But it
point,
does look
though.
like they are setting up for the extra point. So that's going to be 47-13 as the Vikings are hunting. Got to subtract a couple things here. I accidentally put too many points on the board there for the Yellowjackets.
Well, you're used to doing that tonight.
Yeah,
They've run it up.
I haven't had to hit the other side very often, but for sure, the Valley Vikings deserve those points after a really nice return by the running back.
Final play
Nicholas
of the final
Heekins.
play, yeah. Right on the last play of the third quarter, and what a return there. That was an excellent wall because Egan's didn't have to make many moves. He kind of followed his blocks and then went toward the far sideline there and just, like you said, he had a convoy. He had 5 guys out with him.
Coming out here for the 2-point conversion are the Valley Vikings out of a 4 wide receiver formation with a running back next to the quarterback in the shotgun. He fires through the back of the end zone intended for Zayon Farron, but the pass is going to fall incomplete, and we've got a 48-13 score on the board. I got to have to take my shoes off in order to try and figure out the difference between 48 and 13, but my guess is Heekins said, no running clock for you folks. I'm taking that away.
I believe.
We might be right at 35,
It's
though.
still at
It's
35.
right at 35.
It's right at 30. Hey, I was able to count using the fingers of everyone in the booth here, and we figured out that it is a 35-point difference, so we should continue to see a running clock. Although last game, I don't know that the officials really ever got the running clock going.
Really?
In what was a 35-point lead by the Yellowjackets last week.
Yeah, because it was 42-0 was the final. But I believe once it hits 35, it runs continuously in the second half. It doesn't matter if the other team comes back. I think it continues to run.
Yeah, we thought that in the booth last week, but the officials on the field continued to stop the clock throughout.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, see, that's how,
we'll assume a running clock, but either way, we know that the Jackets will be running the football behind the powerful performance by running back Amos Glenn. Quite frankly, we may not see Amos Glenn on the field much longer.
I wouldn't want to see much more of Glenn if I was Coach Gaylaw. You don't want to lose him in a situation like this.
Good opportunity for me. We had last week filling in for Glenn as the Jackets had a rout of the Burl Bucks last week. Braden Pamebo was a touchdown scorer. I called him Brandon Pamebo for the game last week, but taking this opportunity to correct that, as I fully expect to see Braden Pamebo come out here in the second half for the Jackets and get a few snaps with Amos Glenn
everybody was
seeing
lined up
the
together
bench a
wrong
little early.
direction.
Yeah, you noticed that too, Dave?
Yeah.
They were like, wait, no, you're over here. Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, that penalty after the touchdown, it was an unsportsmanlike against Freeport. So they're going to kick off from the 50-yard line, are the Vikings. And this is prime area for a touchback.
I missed the unsportsmanlike, but yeah, that's certainly quite the move up there from the 50-yard line for that kickoff.
Kept it in.
Ball taken inside the 15-yard line by Danny King. Danny King finds a seam, and we've just seen return after good return by both these teams all evening.
And you know what? You tell a coach after the game, boy, you guys were really good in the return game, but you gave up a couple, and that's one thing that makes coaches tear their hair out.
Absolutely. Those special teams coaches, they want to see the good returns on their side, but they do not want to see it coming from the other side. And it seems like everybody's been finding a bit of wiggle room on those returns tonight, as the Jackets are going to start this possession at the 38-yard line. Good field position as they've had most of the evening. Score 48-13, 11:45 here in the third quarter to go.
Ross and Glenn still in.
Maybe looking to pad those stats a little bit more, and Amos Glenn taking off, and he is hunting for number 7.
It's going to be a flag.
He's going to go out of bounds, and is there a flag down on the play?
back.
There it looks like there might be in the area of holding.
In the area, indeed, it was a right guard or a left guard, I think. That was, as you said, takes 2 to tango.
Yeah,
it takes 1 to pull the guy to the ground.
The early indication was holding, and that is going to be the call against the Yellowjackets. Going to back them up 10 yards and take that yardage away from Amos Glenn. stat-wise, my goodness, I don't know that obviously those yards aren't going to count for him, but Amos Glenn has got to be getting close to 200 yards rushing tonight.
I'll bet he's over it.
He might, with anytime you have a 90-yard touchdown in your repertoire, it doesn't take a ton. But he's seen running room all evening here against the Valley Vikings defense.
Yeah, both lines for Freeport tonight have just played exceptional.
Oh, yeah, totally agree with that, Dave. I mean, defensive line, as you pointed out, Bob, earlier, defensive line playing great after that opening touchdown. Obviously, Valley putting a special teams touchdown on the board here, but the defensive line of the Yellowjackets has been great. And obviously, when you got a running back going off like Glenn has tonight, that means the offensive line's doing their job.
Well, it's been tough sledding out there on offense on the ground for the Valley Vikings tonight. They've seen interceptions through the air. They've had, a tough time running the football most of the evening. But, they're still out there fighting with all their heart. A lot of effort being put out there by the Valley Vikings in a situation where they were coming in 0-5. It's very easy to give up on a season, let alone just a game where it's not going your way. But the fight is still in those Valley Vikings, and the Freeport Yellowjackets look like they are keeping the starters on the field. Drew Ross, Amos Glenn, Madden Wisniewski, Owen Neaston, Sean Salinger. The offensive weapons for this Freeport team still getting an opportunity to play here as we get into the fourth quarter.
Well, now I'm going to check it out and see if the clock stops when it shouldn't stop. We'll see. I don't know. I didn't read about any rule change going into this year, so we'll see.
Drew Ross keeps the ball himself. Looks like it was a design quarterback run, and Ross is going to get a first down up over the 50-yard line. No laundry on the field, so the Jackets looks like it might be in plus territory here, just inside the, nope, ball spotted is right at the 50-yard line.
Clock's rolling.
Yep.
Clock is rolling. Drew Ross.
I was just going to say that. They left it run.
They left it run after the out-of-bounds play, so it does and then they wave it off. And now they stop it.
Well, was there a timeout? That's really the only thing that should stop it. Timeout and a score.
Well, it looks like the clock is currently stopped, but the play clock moves, so we'll see. We'll check it out for you folks on the next play as we hand off here to Amos Glenn, and he gets off tackle to the right. Brought down after a gain of about 4 on the play. Tackle made by the Valley Vikings, number 2, Peyton Eason. Second down and 6 for the Yellowjackets. Let's give a quick shout to a couple of those other guys up front. I see Sam Austin, number 67, the left guard, who's been opening up holes for the running game all evening. Hunter Lang, the center, moving people around. Sam Austin with a beautiful block again there, opening up a running lane for the running back Dawson Gaylott, who takes it across the 40-yard line and picks up another Freeport Yellowjackets first down.
That block was what you call a chin strap unfastener.
That was a
pop.
That's the one where Rudy doesn't get hit, and he challenges the guy to hit him on the next play, and he just levels him. Austin looked like he was fired out of a cannon coming down the line, pulling there, and really opened up a nice hole for Dawson Gaylott on the play. It's always nice when you go to compliment a player and they immediately go out there and blow somebody up. Just like makes you feel like you're such a genius, but really it's just praising the kids that are out there putting in the work. I see number 63 on the field, Carter Kemp out there as well. I don't know if Carter started the game today, but I've seen a couple of nice blocks already in the game for him.
Yeah, I think they're going to park the starters now.
Oh, yeah,
looks
for
like
sure.
We've got a JV unit coming out. Don't mean to disparage anyone by saying that, but a lot of these guys will be hitting it hard in the JV game tomorrow. They're going to get that started early tonight against the Valley Vikings, who I believe are keeping some of their starters on the field. And down by a score of 48-13, that's probably what they'll do. I certainly, from a coaching standpoint, wouldn't bring my starters off. I'd give them an opportunity to get, a couple of good defensive stops or a couple of good drives together before I'd start hauling anybody off the field for the Vikings.
I completely agree. And I'll tell you what, any kid that loves the game doesn't want to come out anyway, and that's what you want. You want your starters to stay out there and do some things, get some confidence built, maybe force a turnover. I don't care who it comes against. It happened in the game, so.
Absolutely, 100%. We've got a handoff to number 21 of the Yellowjackets, and forgive me, I'm going to have to check my roster here, and that's
Aiden Alcorn.
Freshman
Wow.
running back Aiden Alcorn with the carry.
See, I feel like a lot of these guys grow from when the roster is made, because we were doing a knock game last week. I was in knock Newcastle, and they had one guy listed at like 5'1", 150 pounds, and he was no longer 5'1", 150.
At this age, you can hit a growth
yeah,
spurt from August to October, That 2 months can mean a lot.
Or June to August.
I think when I was 15, my dad had to buy me 3 brand new pairs of high tops that summer, and he just could not get over the fact that my foot went from an 8 to a 9 to a 10.5.
Yeah, I grew 11 inches in one summer, so that was a fun one where I woke up and I was like, why don't I fit in my bed anymore?
Short gain on the play for the Yellowjackets.
Dave, no growth spurt story?
No, not really.
Dave
just came out this size.
Came out of the womb,
came
6'5".
out the same size.
I was pretty much even, not
right.
No big amounts that I know of.
I do know that my legs were out of my bed and my clothes didn't fit, and I was like, what happened?
We've got the quarterback, number 4, Luke Salinger, in the shotgun formation. He hands off to Aiden Alcorn, but there's whistles on the play. It looks like there's going to be some motion against the Jackets prior to the snap.
Yeah, and that shouldn't have stopped the clock, and it did, so who knows? Your guess is
looks
as good
like
as
we've
ours.
got some clock stoppages happening here with the JV crew of the Jackets out there.
They restarted it. I think there's a 10-second wait after a penalty off of a timeout.
Okay. We're figuring it out.
I'll tell you what, I read the whole rule. Like, I tried to figure it out because it was so confusing to me when they instituted it. And I was just like, what is happening? Why did it start then and not stop then? So I actually did my journalistic research, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what happens. And I'll tell you what, I always say to people out there watching, if you know my number and I'm saying something wrong about a rule, feel free to correct me. I'll read it on the air. And had a former coach do that for me. So
Excellent. And we've got a timeout happening here from the Yellowjackets. I'm going to give a quick call out to some of those players that are getting an opportunity here for the Yellowjackets under the bright lights of Friday night. Quarterback Luke Salinger out there leading this Jacket offense right now. When we come out of the timeout, I expect to see number 28, Paxton Senny, in the running back spot next to him. We'll give a couple of calls to some of these other underclassmen and get those Jacket fans to start knowing who's going to be toting the load for them here in the next couple of years. As we come out of the quick timeout, we've got 2 wide receivers to the right of the formation, Aiden Alcorn along with number 10, Kason Barker on the near side of the field. Far side of the field, I see number 22 in the slot wide receiver position, Anthony O'Donnell. Alcorn motions across the formation, and Luke Salinger is going to keep it himself. He's going to pick up minimal yardage on the play. And we've got number 57 offensive lineman there for the Yellowjackets, Caleb Davis, who's getting everyone huddled back up before the Yellowjackets appear to bring out the punting unit. Judah Thompson's going to come out and try and pin the Vikings back deep in their own end as the clock rolls just about 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Farron has a chance right here. I mean, see what the punt does. That's in the end zone.
It's going to be returnable for Farron as it takes a bounce at the 1 yard line and goes into the end zone. Thought Farron might have an opportunity to return that, but made the wiser decision than I.
Yeah.
Once your heels are on the 5 yard line, if you catch a ball in the air inside the 5 yard line, I think the coaches are going to yank you right off the field there. So Zay and Farron with the wise decision to let the ball go into the end zone, and the Vikings are going to take over at the 20 yard line.
Yeah, he was set up right there. Like you said, his heel was on the 5. He waited and watched it and thought, nope.
You know he wanted that juicy return against the JV squad, though, 100%. Right? I mean,
but that's a smart player.
You've got a senior out there, and he knows who he's playing against right now. And this is where the Valley Vikings are going to try and get something together on offense as they hand off to the running back, Heekins. Heekins with a decent pickup there, gain of about 6 on first down.
I'll tell you what, number 10 for the Yellowjackets there.
Tayson Barker.
Yeah, he came in with the arm tackle and got Heekins down, which is actually pretty surprising. He was running strong, so.
And we see number 30 checking into the game on defense for the Yellowjackets. I don't have a 30 on my roster, so your guess is as good as mine as to who that might be.
That's always tough when that happens, especially in football with the uniform changes and stuff.
Heekins with a short gain. Tackled on the play by number 12 from the Yellowjackets, Nick Jones. Nick Jones, a sophomore linebacker, comes in at about 5'10", 165.
At least these numbers are fairly easy to read.
Yeah. Wait till, there's camouflage jerseys. Oh, those are the toughest.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially with black numbers on them.
Yeah.
Simmons rolls out.
Oof.
And the pass falls incomplete. He was looking for the first down as he throws past the marker. But it's going to bring up a 4th down and 1 for the Valley Vikings. And this Yellow Jacket defense is standing tall with the substitutions.
Yeah, just under 5 minutes to play here, Bob, and clock rolling right along. Freeport salting away another victory, 2 in a row for the Jackets. I mean, anything could happen, but I doubt it.
At this point, I don't know that the anything can happen applies more than the Valley Vikings might be able to score a few touchdowns here and make it a closer game than we thought. But looks like the Jackets will move to 4-2. After picking up the win today. Tackle made on the play by Aiden Alcorn on the quarterback Simmons. Vikings will pick up the first down and continue this drive as we get under 4.5 minutes to play. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line.
You mentioned in your open, Bob, about the Jackets alternating wins and losses so far this year. Now a little 2-game winning streak. But one thing you see about teams that alternate wins and losses at the beginning of the year, how they respond. And the Jackets have, really responded well to their losses. Now able to stack a win here and get a little 2-game winning streak. 2
tough losses for the Jackets this year, too. I mean, the game against Derry, the Jackets came in with a lot of confidence in that game. I think the players really thought that they'd have an opportunity. And Heekins, with his best run of the night, picking up a big gain and puts the Valley Vikings inside the Steffi Country Catering red zone. Ball spotted down at the 18-yard line. But as I was saying, Josh, I really expect the Jackets to respond well. They've got a great, solid head coach in John Gaylord.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Absolutely a stalwart. And when teams like that face adversity, and you've got such a solid organization and coaching staff around it. They didn't blink. They had tough losses against Derry, a really tough loss against Deer Lakes, 2 games that they didn't want to lose, but it'll help them grow for the remainder of the season. Heekins with another run, bouncing this thing outside to the right, and he's hunting the front corner of that end zone, and that's going to be a Valley Vikings touchdown. 6 more points on the board for the Vikings.
Good for Heekins. I mean, a nice little bounce outside on that run, and then he just straight line speed to that front pylon. Able to punch it in there and get the score a little bit closer.
Let's get 6 more points on the board for the Valley Vikings. That's a 49-19 score currently.
Hope you bet the over.
Yeah, hope you bet the over. I had Jackets in the over for sure.
Well, they're covering, that's for sure. I don't think anybody expected to. Well, maybe, I don't know. They showed a lot last week against Burrell coming off that tough loss. I mean, that's one thing as a head coach, and Coach Gaylord, as you just mentioned, one of the best around, longest tenured coach that we cover. High Top Sports Network does the sports section of the Leader Times. Freeport, one of the teams that we cover, and Coach Gaylord, the longest tenured head football coach that we cover. And I'll tell you what, I enjoy talking to him. He's a very measured man when it comes to his approach. He's very even-tempered, and I think that translates very, very well to high school age kids. You can't be too bombastic, and you also can't be, these kids having to question whether or not you have a pulse.
Absolutely.
Coach Gaylord's right there in the sweet spot, and that's why he has good teams. And he told me
totally agree.
He told me before the season. He goes, I'm quietly confident. So we got something down here.
Well, he's put a lot of confidence in a young group. You know, the Jackets had a difficult season last year, finishing 3-7 on the year with a lot of sophomores getting playing time.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are all, and as you said earlier in the game, Josh, you know, from that sophomore to junior year jump that a lot of these football players make, if we saw with Drew Ross, who while he played pretty well last year, is just now taking full command of this Yellow Jacket offense. This is the second consecutive week that they've scored over 40 points on offense. You know, we had 2 winless teams coming in, but the Yellow Jackets took care of business as they needed to do. Kaysen Barker is going to return this one. Ball taken at the 20-yard line. He's up over the 25 to the 30. Man. Kaysen Barker breaking free. He's got one man to beat and runs right into that kicker.
Well, hats off to number 39 there for knowing he was going to take it on the chin. That was Trent Hickenbotham. I heard Big E say.
Yes.
I heard Big E say it whenever I was walking back up from the concession stand. Hickenbotham.
With a big tackle on that play, too.
He knew it was coming.
He was the last guy to beat, and he stood in there, tough as nails, took the hit from the offensive player to make the tackle, but saves a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you'll see a kicker wave at that one.
Yeah, Kaysen Barker, Kaysen Barker certainly had a head of steam, but Trent stepped right in front of him, you know, took every bit of that, and props to him for making that touchdown-saving tackle.
Not sure the eyes were open whenever Barker made contact with Hickenbotham. He was
mine wouldn't have been.
Kind of turned the head a little bit. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. I think if you polled 100 people, 99 of them are going to close their eyes before a car crash, and that was certainly a car crash. Luke Salinger tackled on the play. Looks like it's going to be a no gain. Number 6 for the Valley Vikings, Anjay Chambers, senior, out there to make the tackle.
I actually thought Freeport might have got away with a block in the back there on that kickoff return. It was really, really close.
I saw that as well. That was definitely very close. Wouldn't have faulted the official if he called it. Understand why he may have kept the flag in the pocket as we're got a clock winding under 2 minutes. I think everybody's ready to get out of here, Valley Vikings included. And Freeport Yellowjackets just getting excited to go dance on the field with the band after a win.
You know what? A lot of the Freeport faithful, they're sticking around. See the end of this one.
Yeah, still a good crowd. Paxton Senny with the carry, goes off tackle, picks up a couple of yards on the play. Tough nose running back there. I've seen him a few JV games already this season, and I'm impressed by the power with which Paxton Senny runs.
Head down and straight line. I told my son, you know, whenever he was coming up, starting to learn to play football, I would throw to him a lot, and he would catch, and he would juke his imaginary defenders. Well, one time he juked and just fell straight down. And I said, son, that doesn't run in our family. We go right through people. We don't go around them.
Get north-south.
Yes.
Teach him how to get north-south.
He said, I don't think I'm going to be juking a lot of people. I said, you are correct.
Salinger hands off to Paxton Senny again, and he runs into a varsity tackle there. Coming up to fill on the play, I believe that's number 3 for the Valley Vikings, Antonio Perkins, also a freshman on the other side of the field, 5'9", 170. It's good weight for a high school player at that, size,
for sure.
5'9". Put a nice shot on Paxton Senny, who picks up very little yardage on that play. 4th down and 9, and the Jacket offense is going to stay on the field.
Well,
this will be your last play.
Yeah, I would assume.
Will we even see? Yeah, we've got only about 7 seconds left on the play clock. We might even have a delay of game penalty before the next snap, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen here.
Yep.
Oh, the officials are letting it go. Nope. We see a delay of game flag come out.
He debated so bad.
Yeah, they let an extra 2 to 3 seconds run off that clock before they decided to throw the delay of game. That leaves 13 seconds on the clock. One more play before we go final. I've already asked, and it seems like a bit of a silly question. Is everybody in the panel here got Amos Glenn as their player of the game with a 6-touchdown performance?
I think you wouldn't understand football if you picked anybody else. And not, we give credit to the offensive line. They did a great job tonight, but Glenn was just unstoppable. I mean,
Absolutely.
Once he got in the open field, a lot of Valley defenders coming up with nothing but air, trying to get a piece of him, and the speed. the elusiveness and power when he needed it.
I'm not shorting him one,
Tremendous.
right? It is 6 touchdowns.
Yeah,
not
I believe
7,
so.
right? Okay,
I
I'm
believe
just
6.
making sure. On a night like tonight, Amos Glenn's putting up, point guard type numbers.
Yeah.
Responsible for nearly, 40 of the points on the board tonight. He is our player of the game, number 26 on your programs, number 1 in your heart, number 33 on most game nights.
Yeah, right.
Amos Glenn.
Well, thanks to Steffi's Country Catering for sponsoring our player of the game. Amos Glenn, he's already being, I thought he was getting interviewed down there already, but thanks to Terry, great supporter of both Freeport and Armstrong Athletics. Terry is the father-in-law of Big E, right across there, the public address announcer, and got grandsons. There's a lot of Westendorf boys and grandsons in the athletic programs here, so thanks to Terry for always sponsoring our coverage of Freeport athletics. And check out the Sunday takeout specials on Facebook. Just search Terry Steffi, and you'll get Steffi's Country Catering, the Sunday takeout meals. Oh, man. They're not just one meal. Let me just tell you this. I have a large appetite, and can't do it. Can't, even with the whole family. Terry always says to me, I know it's your day to cook whenever I go over there and pick up food.
Yeah, absolutely.
But check them out. I mean, more than filling. Great prices, great portions, home-cooked stuff. Stick to the ribs food.
And just a big thanks to all of the High Top Sports sponsors. That includes Bird's Foot, Body Revolution, Sprankles, AIA Allegheny, or Armstrong Indoor Athletics, AIA, Steffi's, as well as Olson. We've got a lot of great sponsors. I know we've had some technical difficulties tonight, but those of you who stuck with it got to see an absolute brilliant performance by running back Amos Glenn. 3 touchdowns in the first half, 3 touchdowns in the second half. Just put on an absolute show. Can't wait to congratulate him when I see him myself. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Bob Buderbaugh for Josh Schreckengoss and Dave Hartman. We want to thank you for joining us tonight.
And thank you, folks, for tuning in. Appreciate the patience and the understanding during that first half. We got it figured out for you, so glad we were able to bring you the band and the second half action. Dave, got anything for the folks out there?
We'll see you next week.
Dave, we'll see you next week. So will I, and so will Bob. Thanks so much for tuning in to High Top Sports Network. I don't know if the other games have concluded yet, but we had Armstrong and Gateway on the network, as well as Knock and Indiana. So if those are still going on, feel free to jump over. And we wish you a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Be well.
Thanks all.